Welcome to your reading for the second period of Libra, where Saturn is the sub-ruler. And we have here the card of Justice, who is associated with Libra, and the card of the World, who is associated with Saturn. In this period of Libra, Venus is normal, the ruler, the one that brings affection and beauty, with Saturn, the planet of boundaries and limitation. Libra is forced to recognize the restriction. Libra feels totally in her power. Now she feels limited by Saturn, and she cannot really float so easily in the clouds. On the other side, Saturn, which is about transition, responsibility, adjustment. Even here we see a kind of balance. Saturn is really happy in Libra because he loves the idea of balance and the rules. The card associated in Tarot with Saturn in Libra is the Three of Swords. Air sign, we are in the Swords. And this is mostly associated with sorrow, with pain, separation, tears, self-pity, the painful miscommunication. And it is a tree, number 3, that is affection and beauty. It is associated with Venus, the ruler of Libra. But in this case, the restriction imposed by Saturn can be the restriction that are the result of being human. And Saturn is the god of Kronos, also the god of time in the Greek mythology. So nothing lives forever, not even our creation, not even our love, because this is very much about a pain in the heart, sorrow based on the relationship. Libra being the ruler of the 7th house, the house of relationships. The affairs of art of almost all the time, they come with a price. And even if it's a good relationship, it's always need to balance and adjust. And these 3 swords, they look more or less like the scale from the Justice that we see it here. It can also be, if we think that you have to make a selection to choose between 2 things, and then the 3 here in the middle, it's the kind of reconciliation showing that this is possible, or even a painful compromise. It also comes with the idea that from 2, if there are 2 opinions, then we are just trying to find a middle point, the balance in a way, even if that is painful. If we think of Venus and the Empress, it's often represented as the Mother Mary, and we know the Mother Mary has the heart exposed, and it's also pierced with the swords. And then if we look at the Dali Tarot, we have this representation of the 3 of Swords. The image is from the painting Roger Rescuing Angelica by Dominique Ingres, and we have the big heart here, and the message is a little bit ambiguous. It can be the abyss that it's opening in the center of the heart, or maybe the swords are here to free you from distress. It's a classical motif of a battle with a dragon. We see the black serpent-like monster visible here at the bottom of the heart, and it's mainly about the hurt feelings, old wounds that once that we are hurt again, they are just reopened. And the positive message that we can see here is that whatever problem we have, the weapon of the mind, because we are in the mind sign, and the eye of love will help us to find a solution. So we have the love of Venus with the mind of Libra. We will be able to find a solution that it's good for the mind and for the heart, because this is what this 3 of Swords is, a kind of distress of that, like the mind and the heart are giving us different advices. Give love a chance, even if you have a broken heart. A broken heart is an open heart. Don't be afraid of painful threats, because this could also help you heal whatever you still keep in your heart. And by looking at the card before and after, so we have before, there is still a good weather, but the swords are coming, and then after it's still raining like in the main card, but then the clouds are going and there is healing. And in the card from behind, I like that, like, because it's rain, everybody is gone, so it's also about being alone. It's also a time where you have to go through this pain alone. Nobody can really assist you in a way, or help you, or make it easier. So it's your pain and you have to deal with it. And it's a good moment to ask yourself, did you had the possibility to make a choice and your choice was upsetting somebody else, or somebody else's choice upsets you, give you pain? The fact that now, by the decision that it's made, you have to say goodbye to a trust past and look in the uncertainty of the future. Allow this pain to be a good teacher. Acknowledge it, your hurt and your pain, so you can face it and you can work through it. To ask yourself, in which way do you suffer? When you look at your relationship, are you able to look it with truth and honesty? And is there anything that you fear more about that relationship? And whatever you fear more, it will come sooner or later. And then it's important to be prepared and then to know how to deal with it. Most of the tarot decks will present this card as a card of sorrow. We can see here in the Tree of Air from the Angel Tarot, regrets, sadness, but take time to heal and to need to forgive yourself and others. That's part of the healing process, and that is so beautiful here to see. And also the unity of the family. Wherever you deal with pain, it's important to be part of a group, to have people close to you. Forgive those who hurt you, or and forgive yourself if you hurt others. It's very important in the recovery process. Then if we look at the White Sage Tarot, we see again these three swords, but in this card we also realize that it helps if you speak up and you allow the pain to come out in a way, and so you can move beyond. You have to express your feeling, and that also it's connected with the throat chakra. If we look at the intuitive night goddess, here the inside of the heart is so beautiful. The three swords are actually working together. It's almost like acupuncture for the heart in order to release the heart, the energy. And the heart doesn't bleed. Actually, in all the cards here, only when it's recovering, but there is no blood coming on. It's just the tear, the sadness. So it's more like it's going to grow due to this pain, due to this sorrow. So even if we feel hurt by our own action or by other, we can really cut the cords. I try to do sometimes when I feel a lot of pain from the past and I feel the pain in my heart, then I'm thinking there are still some energetical cords with people from the past, and maybe they think of me, or even maybe I do that. So there are still energetical cords that can be cut, and that's also part of releasing the pain. Forgiving yourself and forgive the person, and don't think, oh, if I should have done or say something different. Just forgiveness. You are where you are now, and know that that pain was also part of the growth, because in the end, number 3, it's a number of growth. It's a process in which you really change from the past to the future, from what you know to what you don't know. It's the sorrow, like we also see it here. Also negative thinking, because maybe sometimes the pain is greater due to our thoughts. We spend our nights thinking and rethinking, so we make it even stronger in a way. My cat decided to sleep here. It's part of the reading now. And in Beneath the Moon, the story associated with the Three of Swords, it's the Crane Wife. It's a Japanese fairy tale. There was once a poor woodcutter who came across a beautiful crane caught in a hunter's trap. He felt sorry for the graceful bird, so he carefully set it free. Once released, the bird looked deep into the man's eyes before flying away. Days later, a lovely woman appeared at his door asking for shelter. She was so charming and beautiful that the man asked her to marry him. The mysterious woman readily agreed, for she had fallen in love with the man as well. A short time later they were married, but life was not easy. The man was still poor, and now he tried to work twice as hard to fill both himself and his beautiful wife. The woman saw this and offered to make fabric to sell. She asked only that her husband never come into her room while she worked. Confused, he agreed. A few days later, his wife, looking weak and tired, presented him with the most fabric he ever saw. He took the work to market and sold it for a lot of money, which he was able to use to buy them many good things. From the day on, the couple lived well. The wife would retreat to her room and secretly working, emerging later looking a little more sickly, but with fabric even more beautiful than the last. The husband would take the fabric market and sell it for ever higher prices, returning with goods and gifts that made them very wealthy. Thought his life was easier, the man began to worry for his wife, who was looking even more frail. Finally, his curiosity could take no more. One night, while she was working, he cracked the door open and peered in. He discovered that his wife was a crane who had been slowly and painfully plucking her own feathers and weaving them to create the beautiful fabric. He gasped, and she turned to see that he learned her secret. She was angry that he broke his promise and mortified that he had seen her as a crane, and so she took flight and never returned to her husband. What a beautiful story. See it over the power of love and trust and sacrifice. Like we said, there is no love without pain in different forms. Before we end, I will end with the Three of Swords from Handel. We see here some tears coming from the wound. Suffering exists, and we have to trust that that makes us stronger. But the association is with hexagram number 33, which I found a very magical number. There are things that change, and there are things that do not change and remain eternal. The spokes of the wheel touch the earth, and they are also connected in the middle. Hexagram 33 contains the secret of the power of the center and heart. Here we enter into the center of the pyramid and the sacred geometry of the number 33. The location of the power generator within all things, the center of the black hole through which gamma energy streams forth. All energy and lives flew through the vortex, which opens in this ultimate vortex, and 33 is the force of all creation. The true essence of who and what you are resides in this place, a second heaven that protects and looks after it. The main thing is the heart here. It's a pain of a heart, but it's also the growing of the heart, and the energy of love. It's the energy that if we let it flow and we forgive others and ourselves, then we just become stronger. This is the essence of who we are. So I find this a very powerful card, even if people are fearing the Three of Swords. For those of you born in this period, you are powerful people. You have the power to recover even from sorrows, or you know how to deal with the sorrows. Just makes you stronger, and you can conquer the world in this way with your strong and beautiful heart. Thank you for watching.